Hello, everyone. Welcome back for another interview. Oh my goodness, I am absolutely loving these interviews already, and we have a wait list of amazing, extraordinary women that have thrown their name in the hat to be interviewed. So Flavie, I am waiting for you. If you see me over in the group, I see a message. Letting her know I'm live. Sometimes it doesn't actually show up unless you're refreshing with your thumb and pulling it down. So we're going to wait here for just a moment until Flavie joins us. Flavie is from France, and it is her evening, and this is one of the best times in which we can actually wants to join me. I see you, but I can't find you. Hopefully that's working. Here she comes. Hello, Flavie.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Perfectly. Can you hear me too?
Yeah, I think it's my volume's not turned up this morning. Whoops. So welcome. I'm super excited to do this interview with you. And I've actually had the honor of interviewing Flavie before, and Flavie has interviewed me on her podcast as well.
Yes.
So we know each other, but this one I want to take down a little bit different angle,
Yeah.
because we're here inside of the Be Extraordinary Women's Network, and I want to hear about some of the moves you made or the decisions you had to make in order to actually step up and claim your extraordinary gifts and get through some of those challenges that if you wouldn't have done that, if you wouldn't have made those decisions, you couldn't be here serving the people you serve today. So thank you for joining. I can't go on with the interview without saying thank you to the co-creators of this whole thing. And Flavie is one of them. She is been traveling. She was from France. She was back over in the US just a little bit ago. And when we travel, there's a lot that has to happen. And she stepped out of her own comfort zone and made sure she met a whole bunch of extraordinary people that maybe she knew, or maybe she was interested in, or maybe they were brand new to her. And let's celebrate her for just being visible and just really stepping out of her comfort zone to meet more extraordinary people. But Flavie, I'm going to give the floor to you and just say, tell us where you're actually coming in from, because I've mentioned France a couple times, but there's more to it than that. And then a little bit about who you serve.
Yes, sure. So I'm from France, just like you said. And even if I live like for, I don't know now, 35 years in Paris, I have decided to take that bold decision to leave Paris like 3 years ago, because I was not aligned. But you were talking about, bold decision and so on. For me, it was one, because my mom was living in Paris. My family-in-law was living in Paris. We had no one here in La Rochelle, where we are living today. And I said, I just want to go, but I had to convince my husband. And finally, sometimes the biggest and the hardest decision are the best one. And for the last 3 years, we're now living in a house. We left the flat for a house from the street to the sea. We're 2-minute walk from the sea. And we have spent, during summer, so beautiful walking on the beach and so on with the kids. And in between, we had a third baby who decided to make an apparition. And for me, it's really when you decide to make bold decisions, this is where magic truly happens.
Oh my goodness. Well, bold decisions. And I think that we can say that one bold decision's opened up the gate of that whole like extra.
Yes.
And then all these other things, because let's step back just a little bit. There was a lot that happened from the time that you said, I would love to maybe move to an area that was more aligned and more supportive. And then can you just share again the ripple that's happened?
Yeah. So the first part, we were meant to live in another place in France. And, life for me is here to help you and to guide you. And every house we have been refused and refused and refused. And it was oh my God, will we be, able to finally leave Paris one day? Till that day, we visit that place where we are today, and that's the place I want to be. And it has been, a decision because we're, of course, several family on these houses. It was beautiful, 2 minutes from the beach. And from there, I have, so we have moved to this place. I have quit my job. I had a third baby, and it's okay. Life is just bringing us gift after gift after gift. Sometimes with new challenges, of course, but from one decision, so many things came after.
Well, it's amazing because you guys haven't even heard the all of the other stuff. So that feels like that's the personal, the new baby. But there is also a new business that was born in the middle of that. And
Yeah,
I want you to share a little bit about your business and who you serve and
yeah,
who you're being called
to,
to actually
yeah.
serve in a bigger way.
Yeah, so here again, it has been a journey because I really started, to help spiritual women who wanted, to be seen, to accept that they have abilities. I will not call this gift because for me, if you say gift, it's okay, I'm above you, and we're just not above anyone. We're just all gifted by design. But for me, it's to say, okay, you have those abilities and just accept it and make it grow. So initially I was mainly helping, women who were called for this spiritual awakening. And after I switched more to women entrepreneurs because I said, okay, they need to create a business and I want to guide them. And today I came more to the balance between the two, between spiritual female entrepreneurs willing to or grow, develop, or even start a business. And for this, it starts by knowing who you are. And today, my ideal client are really, women who feel called by something bigger, that they are meant for something more than what they have today, but they don't know if they can. They have all those BS things in their head, saying, oh, I don't know if I can. I don't know if it's for me. We can all do it. From the moment we decide this is where you are meant to do something bigger. And I'm calling, I'm really calling all those women to say, stop. It's time to step up. It's time to speak up. It's time for you to shine and have a life which is fulfilled, but aligned with who you truly are. Stop hiding your gift. Stop hiding, all the potentials that you have and just unleash it. That's really all those women that I am meant to work with.
Wow, I love it. And so you can see that Flavie and I are very aligned. But Flavie, some of the women that are co-creating this and moderating inside of the group here, you didn't know. How do you feel the thread and the through line, and are you excited about working alongside of these women?
Yeah, when we had the first call, I was, okay, who are those 10 people? and and I have the privilege to know you more and more and more, and know that you're intuitive, that you have so much, magic in your hand. So I was in a place of trust and confidence that you have chosen the right people. But as long as I was listening and hearing the stories, I was, oh my God, we have so much more in common that what I thought, yes, initially. And now that I follow them and I see the writing, their shares, and I was, wow, all those women are just truly gifted. And it's like, a puzzle when you have different pieces. And when you put the 10 of us, it's like, wow, that's such a beautiful picture. It's such a beautiful energy. And all of us, come some like us with a lot of energy, some with a more soft energy, but bringing something different and that is needed for all the people we are addressing to. And I was, oh my God, I can't wait. All the things that gonna come through this amazing journey.
Yeah, so I mean, it has unfolded beautifully for me, and I couldn't be more happy with how it's all unfolded. But right now, here, just opening up the doors to the Be Extraordinary Women's Network and watching the floods of women come in and watching the women. You actually made a list yesterday of the women that have said interview. What did that feel like as somebody that has your gifts and your talents? because you as a business person are just absolutely phenomenal. And then as a spiritual advisor, you are just so honed in on understanding the energy behind it. What did it feel like when you were creating that list of these amazing people?
So, it's interesting because I left for the US for a week and we were like 10. And I just looked back and we are over 230 people. And I was, how did this happen? Already for me, it was, wow, that's going to be something so big. So that was the first reaction I had. And after, I looked to those women say, interview, interview. And you can feel that there is a piece of fear that, oh my God, I'm going to be interviewed, I'm going to become visible. But at the same time, I can feel this energy to say, okay, it's my time. It's time for me to step up now. And I have this opportunity. Let's bring it. And I find it so beautiful, and fascinating when you can feel, the energy behind those women that say, okay, I'm ready to step up. And on the other side, when we're accepting the person, you can feel that a lot of you ladies are kind of, oh, do I belong? Can I really be extraordinary? And I was, so we have ladies ready to completely step up, but it's like 5%, not even more. And we have a majority with still for the moment, but it's just for the moment, playing small, not sure if they can show up. And it's gonna be our role, to help you and show you that you have so much more in you. You have so much to unleash. And I can already feel, some were on the edge, and it's just gonna be extraordinary.
Wow. Thank you so much for putting those into words, because the reason that I have created this and to called you guys in to help me co-create this is that it's just broken my heart over the last 5 years watching people with these beautiful messages and a modality to help the people they're meant to serve. And I truly believe we are meant to serve specific people. When we figure that out and get out of our head and back into our hearts and really feel that passion and that pull, that's when it happens. But
Mm-mm.
the amount of people that I'm hearing with these beautiful stories and
They don't
the
share
struggles
it.
that they feel because they make up all these stories like it's way, way harder than it is. And I'm like, how do I help these people? And so this ripple effect that we're creating right now and the momentum that's being built and the stories that are coming forward and the people that are sitting in the background watching and going, wow, maybe that's possible for me too. Igniting the spark inside again. This is my dream come true.
Yes.
And so if I can serve in this way and then co-create with you guys and help serve you to become the next level leader that you are all born to be as well, then this ripple has just got a momentum and a life of its own.
Yeah. And I have shared a part of my story on how for me it has been hard to start being visible because I had my side hustle. I was not supposed to start a business aside, but I feel that call and I cannot let it aside. I need to take that call, even if one day my employer knows about it. And I shared it in a group and I have over like 130 reaction, and I cannot count the number of messages to say, oh my God, this is me today. I'm struggling so much. Your message is just talking to my heart. And those ladies today are the one I was like 4 years and a half ago. And we have that mission today because we are a bit further on the path
Yeah.
to help them, to show them what is possible, to demonstrate that we have been able to face those fears, to take those uncomfortable action, going live and pick some picture of you and having interviews. Yes, initially it can be a bit scary, and it is, I remember my first time, but at the end it become like everything else, and habits, something normal, something natural, and you just need repetition, but you just need to take that first decision. I'm ready to do it. And the second one is I'm doing it now. And
Yeah.
once you take that step, this is when you just unfold, something new, something magical. And I cannot wait for you to discover what is just behind that first step.
Wow. I love that. So you just talked about a time where you did make an extraordinary move, and it was like stepping out, even though you were actually being told by your employer you couldn't have a side hustle, don't be shining. So you knew that there was a calling and you knew that there was meant to happen. Is there another time that you want to share with us that you know that you made an extraordinary move that changed something in this journey for you?
There's been, so much. There's been when my spirituality, really awake, and I was, can I say that I'm a psychic? I'm a medium. I was, oh, I cannot say that. People are going to think I'm crazy. And one day I just step out and say, this is who I am. I cannot hide, those abilities that is helping so much my client, because most of the time they came for this, because I can see the invisible. I can feel the root cause of the problems. And for me, it was, if I don't say it, I'm just doing a disservice to all those people who just need me. So sometimes it's just claiming honestly who you are can be one of the most difficult things, because you don't want to, have an etiquette on your head and say, okay, this is me, because I can be so much more. But for me, affirming who I was in the spiritual space was a bold one. And after, this is how I get most of my clients finally, by claiming what I was able to do, by claiming who I was okay, I'm opening myself to new opportunities, a new bench of clients, and that's where I live so many incredible experiences. And every time I had one of my mentor giving me a challenge, like, you need to do a circle, a mediumship circle, and I cannot do that. And I did it with 12 people twice, so 24 people, while most of my peers were doing with 3 or 4. Say, okay, let's do 12. And I was, I'm crazy. But it was such a beautiful moment. So for me, it's every time I had a huge stretch and I said, okay, I'm not ready, but I'm going to do it, that I did it. And through magic unleashed, just like, the first time I went live, I was, okay, I've never done a live. I just did one video and I did 21-day live. And after that was not sufficient. Let's do a challenge of 365 days. And every time it's pushing your limits, pushing your limits. And I have met so many incredible people that I never thought I could make friends after. Just like, when I've been requested to join the Edge within ntroducing, which is a very intimate mastermind. And I'm not ready, honestly. I'm just restarting my business, and I had my baby, and say, no, you can't do it. And the first day I was sitting with people doing 7 figures, and I was, oh my God, what am I doing here? But I remember that I do belong, because this is where I want to go. So sometimes it's also, surrounding yourself with people who are inspiring you, but from who you can learn. And one day you say, that's gonna be me. And that's who we are also. Maybe you say, oh my God, it's so easy for them to do live and so on. Soon it's gonna be you, and you will have your movement, and you will have your groups, and you will be able to just be you and unleash yourself.
Wow. Thank you so much for taking us on that journey. So one last question. If you were speaking to women that either maybe aren't in this group yet, but they're circling out here, I got my hands going, they're in our atmosphere and they're wishing that they could find a group where they felt safe and they could be seen or they could be visible, because both sides
Yes.
of that is welcome here. What would you say to them to maybe physically speak it and invite them in? Or what would you say energetically to them to help them know that they were safe and that this was a safe place?
Yeah. For me, safety is the most important thing, because it's not a matter of competition. It's not a matter of comparison. So for me, just is okay. You have a space where first you are safe, you can take your time, and it's on purpose here to help you to be seen, because I know what is it to not be seen. And sometimes just, you're being big waves and you're okay, no one is seeing me. Why? But more above all, it's becoming visible, because we're going to give you the place, we're going to give you the mic to express yourself, to show up. And it's not a matter of being perfect, it's just to take the decision and the action to do it. And for me, it's all about this. We are, for me, I think, like a sorority, a sisterhood, and we're here to mutually, help each other, not bump on each other, compare, or be rude. Not at all, because I'm sure that those people will not have their place, and if they do it once, they won't do it twice because they will be directly removed from the group. And safety, I think, for the 10 of us is one of our most important value within a group. So that's why it talked to us so much that we know what we want to create. We want really to create a safe space where you can express your doubt,
Yeah.
maybe your limiting belief, and because we have walked the path, we are here to help you to just say, okay, we're gonna give you the stage, we're gonna give you the mic, you will be able to express yourself. It's not a matter that your speech is perfect, what you are sharing need to be extraordinary. Just by stepping up, it's extraordinary, because potentially without us you would not have done it. And for me, it's all about, you need to be seen, you deserve to be seen, you deserve, to see how worthy you are. And it's just to say, okay, we believe in you, and we just want to give you the space to express unconditionally yourself.
Wow, I couldn't have said it better. Thank you so much for being such a pivotal part of this group and this community. So, Flavie, how can people find you? Either, like, I want people to understand that the moderators here are real people running
Yes,
real businesses, and that you can reach out, but there's also a line of respect. So I
yes.
want you to like set that line or that boundary of how can people reach out to you?
So people can reach out to me more easily through Messenger. So on Messenger, so it's Flavie Berleand. I know my name is not easy to pronounce. Uh, don't look for me on this name under Instagram, because that's my French account. On Instagram, I'm under Your Bees, Your Rules. Otherwise, I can have it, but it's gonna be less visible for me. So it's better to be on Your Busy Rules on Instagram, or directly on Messenger. Here it's easier. You have my name, you click on my name, and you can directly access and talk to me. You can let me first maybe a message if we're not friends, in the group. That's what I know. Otherwise, you might end in my spam, and I may not like it. If you contact me because you want to try to sell me something, I may not respond to you. I'm sorry. I'm here for true connection. So, with the cold DMs, this is not my stuff, but if you need help, I'll be more than happy, to help you, to serve you, to jump even on a 30-minute call with you to, okay, maybe just unlock something. I'm that kind of person. And I know sometimes it can sound weird, say, would you help me for free? Yes, one time, maybe not twice, but at least a first time, definitely yes, because I'm that kind of people. And after you, yeah, for me, it's Messenger. If you want to follow me with I have a newsletter. So if you want every Monday to have news from me where I'm sharing a lot of great things. And again, after, I love to have interaction, so you can answer to me. And of course, if you want, I also have a podcast where, to one extent, you may end up, if you are ready to become visible. I'll be glad, and I'm just giving the opportunity to give you the mic. If one day you say, okay, I'm called maybe to do a podcast to become even more visible, I'll be glad to offer you a seat also on my podcast. So the best way to contact me is through Messenger, and I'll be glad to exchange with you.
Yeah, thank you so much for just sharing your heart. And that's really what this is I want people to know that we are real people, that there's many people that start groups with an alternative motive, and our
Yeah.
only alternative motive is to help other people shine, to
Mm.
us to learn your stories so we can recommend you to other
Yes.
people when we know that you have this specific passion for this specific
Mm.
group of people. And that is also one of the things. As I say that, I want to make sure that people know that this Be Extraordinary Women's Network is not just for business owners or
No.
entrepreneurs. This is for the local church lady that's been extraordinary her whole life and never been paid a dime.
Mm.
This is for people that do extraordinary things. Maybe they go over and they work in another part of the world and they volunteer their time. We want those extraordinary stories
Yeah.
because we want to help you shine. And I think,
In
my own
shame.
mind, that those people are actually the ones that need to be spotlighted and
Yeah.
shared and celebrated, and they're also probably the ones that are staying in the back saying, I'm not doing anything more extraordinary than my
Yeah.
friend or my neighbor. So they're judging that. But I
Sure.
would love you to, if you're hearing this, is to recommend somebody.
Mm.
Like, really honestly invite them into the group and then write a tag and say, this woman is extraordinary and here's why. Because
Yeah.
maybe she's first time in her life she's actually realized that somebody else thinks she's extraordinary.
Yeah, I fully agree, because most of the time we think about business owner, and I know that you mentioned it when you make the introduction, in the post that I was not supposed to have kids, So the doctors told me, okay, when I was 28, you are in premenopause, you cannot have kids. And I was, on a path to have medical assistance to get kids. And one day, well, finally, 3 times, life has decided differently. And inside of me, I knew that I can hear what the doctor are telling me, but a part of me was not believing it. And I say, no, my body just is strongly telling me one day I'll be a mom. And just for Zeke's, I'm thinking of so many women, were sometimes thinking, I'm crazy. I know I have done these things, even if the doctors told me the opposite. You are extraordinary because you listen to yourself and you trust yourself, you trust your body, and it can be in so many different areas of your life. And just by helping sometimes your husband, helping someone in your family, dedicating your time, dedicating all your energy, sometimes it's even all your money because you are caring about the one you love, it's being extraordinary too. So don't think it's just being a seven-figure entrepreneur that make you extraordinary. Sometimes being extraordinary stayed in the most simplest things of life. And because it looks so simple, we just forget about it.
Wowzers, that's a mic drop moment. And if I'm glad that you circled back to that. I was trying to figure out how to bring that conversation in when we were going in a different direction. So if there's still people here listening, and I hope that they catch this last piece of it, is that that's also where you really honed in on your intuition and your
Mm-mm.
trusting and your knowing.
Yeah.
Because when the outside world is telling you and almost like forcing a
Coach.
decision on you, and you're like,
Mm-mm.
everything in my heart and my soul is telling me that there's something else here, and I'm going to go with the trust and the belief that there is something else here. And so I know that you also have a passion to serve those women that are very confused and frustrated with what they're hearing on the outside and
Yes.
don't feel aligned to it on the inside.
Exactly. Yeah. And for me, it's so important to trust yourself, And for so long, I didn't listen to my intuition and I ended, in jobs that I was not supposed to be in because I didn't listen to myself. And for me, it's also, to shout out to all those women who take, really important decisions in their life and they were, okay, that's because it's me. And I love, when I'm telling that, I have this song from as a greatest showman, this is me and this is you, just showing who you are and stop listening to what the norm is telling you. If you feel that inside of you it's not aligned, just don't follow the norm, just don't follow the rules, create your own rules. And for me, be extraordinary in that also. It's sometimes it's okay, this is not fitting to me, I don't want to do that, and I'm just gonna create my own path. And it's again not easy to say, I'm going to step out of what the norm is telling, but as long as it's aligned with you and it's okay, I know I can become someone, I know I can run my path, just do it. And you can share those moments where you have been extraordinary in your life. And it's not just one moment. Share one, 5, 10, 100. We want, maybe Debbie, I've got an amazing idea. Let's create a wall of the, maybe we can start 100 extraordinary things that those women have created, and after we can move to 1,000.
I love it. I was just thinking that there's a deeper thing there. That's why that come up. So I love that idea. Let's take action on that right
Yes.
away. Oh my goodness. We'll create a thread that's
Mm,
specific for those things that were extraordinary. And goodness,
mm,
ladies, we want to celebrate you. We
yes.
want to support you. We also, there is no judgment or comparison. Your extraordinary move might be that you got on the phone with your mother and you haven't talked to her for blah, blah, blah. Or you made amends with your husband after a fight. Or you actually picked up the phone and applied or had a conversation about joining the Edge Mastermind and it was a big stretch. It doesn't matter. It's what was that extraordinary move that you
Yes.
made and how can we celebrate you?
Yes. I love it. Oh, good. Good shit everywhere.
Well, Flavie, is there any last words as we close off today's?
No, I just want to say first, welcome to all the women who have already dare, to click the button or listen to a friend. Okay, join us in this group. And for me, just trust the process, show up, um, be visible, at least among us, the 10 different moderator and the co-creator. And we just can't wait to see the magic that's just going to unleash from this group. And thank you again, Debbie, for having that bold and creative and amazing idea and for creating this movement, because it's something I can definitely as an individual relate, and I would have loved to have that place like 4 5 years ago. So thanks so much to you too.
Thank you. Bye bye,
Okay,
everyone.